Tomorrow, several countries in Northern Europe will reopen their borders to one another. But Sweden is excluded from the plan for imposing much lighter lockdown measures. As Eric Sorensen explains, the country has found itself isolated for what many countries have labeled a politically fueled decision.
Through it all, Sweden has looked more normal than almost any country during the pandemic. With distancing guidelines and top-notch health care, the Swedes defied convention by keeping open schools for young children and businesses like restaurants during the first wave of COVID-19. Many Swedes are satisfied with the results.
I'm not walking around thinking that, we have a real disaster here in Sweden.
I think this will pass, and I'm proud that we're not getting angry and we're acting in a very dramatic way about it.
Much of the credit was given to Sweden's chief epidemiologist, Anders Tegnell, for a policy that avoided a complete lockdown.
It's working, and the Swedish healthcare is delivering results.
But it turns out the Swedes have been relatively hard hit. Sweden has had close to 5,000 deaths from COVID-19, the largest number in Scandinavia. For its population, that's 47 deaths per 100,000 in Sweden. Neighboring Denmark has had only 10 deaths per 100,000. And Norway, just over 4 deaths per capita. In Sweden, many lives were lost in long-term care facilities. Acknowledging there's room for improvement, Anders Tegnell recently told Swedish radio if faced with the same disease again, his country would do something in between what Sweden did and what the rest of the world has done. It's a disappointment for anyone who'd hoped the Swedish model would succeed with a softer quarantine.
Well, they had enormous outbreaks amongst their elderly, resulting in a very high death rate amongst the elderly. But data suggests that the Swedish economy is suffering as well. So in that respect, they failed.
In the meantime, Denmark and Norway plan to open their borders on Monday to each other and to Germany and Iceland, but not to Sweden. Yet. Denmark is in a different place from Sweden, said the Danish Prime Minister, when it comes to the coronavirus. Sweden calls it a political decision. It feels closing the border won't make it safer.
Our communicable expert says that is not a good thing for hindering the spreading of the virus. So that is then a political decision, and we don't want to take that political decision because we are going to live together also afterwards.
Sweden defends the balance it has struck, saying this is a marathon, not a sprint.
It's been right. The policy has been perfectly okay, but it's very sad that a lot of people are dying at the elderly care homes. But
he shakes his head because in the end there seems to be no easy way out of the pandemic. For Sweden and every country, the search continues for a way to normalize life and the economy without costing lives. Eric Sorensen, Global News.
The new series that goes inside the COVID-19 pandemic, from the front lines to the everyday heroes helping us cope with the unprecedented change. Coronavirus, the new reality. A Global News special, Sundays at 7 on Global.